All right, good morning all you YouTubers from Elk River, Minnesota, High Tech Motorsport. I'm Bart Wells, I own this circus here. Got another vehicle to look at today, something we're going to try to teach you how not to do and how to make sure that you stay out of trouble. This is a small block Chevy, 383, cheap aluminum knockoff cylinder heads from God knows where. It was sold to the guy, $39.95, good guy. Looked over the internet, found the cheapest possible price you could find on a 510 horse small block Chevy. Dual plane intake, I'll show you here. It's already back in the car. We fixed everything up. But the camshaft that was chosen for it is one of Comp Cam's thumper cams, maybe a knockoff, but it's way too much duration. The thing ran like a box rocks, has a 2500 stall converter. Didn't run very well, wouldn't spin the tires, and had problems with drivetrain. Turns out the cam was going flat. We've talked about this before. Do not do a flat tappet camshaft engine. They just don't work out that well. When we took it apart to take a look at it, the valve springs had been set up really heavy, 150 on the seat and 375 pounds open. That's way too much for a flat tappet cam. Yeah, they're trying to keep everything together at high RPM, and it just doesn't work out well. So you can see here, got the camshaft. This is a cam that came out, and you'll see that the lobes, like this one right here, going flat from the lifters not rolling around. So yeah, they're supposed to be pear-shaped like that one. So you got a pear shape right there, and this one's all flattened out. That's a pear shape, and this one's all flattened out. Now we got more of them starting to wear out. What happens there is the lobes have to spin. They don't slide across, they actually spin from the stickiness of the oil, and that's part of the problem we have now. The new oils aren't sticky, everything slides really well. It's designed for fuel economy, and of course we haven't had a flat tappet camshaft in an automobile since the 80s, mid-80s. So you can see when they go bad, here's what happens. You can see here's a good one sitting next to it, and here's what happens. You can see how this top just eats itself alive. So all that metal went through the engine. We've got two really bad ones. We got some more lobes that are going away, and it was misfiring and carrying on. Now, here's the dyno sheet. I ran a dyno because the guy really thought that he had a 510 horse motor, and he got this great deal over the internet, and the answer is no. So, you know, I run dynos all the time to prove what's going on. See all that jerkiness? See the lines, how they're so wiggly, squiggly? That's all misfire and cylinders that aren't working correctly. And this thing whistled up 195 horse at the wheels and 234 foot-pounds of torque. Real weak sauce. Here's the new cam card that's going in. We changed it to a roller. This is a comp. This is not like it's a secret thing in the world. He's got a 2500 stall converter, so we can't get carried away. You notice it's a 226 right down here at 50, 226, 230, and I got a 540, 541 lift, and put it on a 112. Now, if you're into my videos, you'll know that I use that Wallace calculator to look at everything. And that puts us at 4 degrees of true overlap. Remember, guy wants to drive it on the street, spin the tires. It's got a 3-speed automatic, a 200C or something like that, which is a lightweight version of a turbo 350, which is a lightweight version of a turbo 400. And I don't know how long the transmission is going to last. We'll just make the car fast. Well, faster. It'll work. So anyway, I'm going to stop here. We'll go and take a look. I'll show you the combination. Then we're going to start dynoing it up. I'm going to show you how to adjust a carburetor. It's got a vacuum secondary Holley on it. It's got a dual plane intake. And let's talk about one more thing. All these things on the internet, it isn't like you're finding a doctor or a lawyer that actually had to go to school. And that's not saying there aren't any bad doctors and lawyers out there. But anybody who hangs up a sign that says, I make high performance stuff, you don't know anything about them. Could have a crappy shop, could be working out of their garage. There can be good people working out of their garage. The problem is you're buying something with your hard-earned money that may or may not work. So going back to cylinder heads that this guy has on here, only information I can find is there a 202 160 valve, like a 180 runner, 180cc runner, which is going to flow about 220 CFM. He's claiming 510 horse, and there's on the engine dyno, that's crank horsepower. So the way he got there is he cheated. He can call me if he wants to. We'll go over this together. So how they do that with an engine dyno is there's an adjustment knob underneath so that you can go to zero, kind of like on the scale, the old-fashioned scales, when you adjust them to zero them out. If you change that, you can artificially inflate or de-inflate the numbers of your scale or your horsepower and torque of the engine that you're building for somebody. So what he does is he'll go to the engine dyno, he'll put one ringer together with ported up heads with all this cheap crap in it, get a dyno sheet, cool the motor down to nothing, change the knob, the magic knob as we call it, and give you this huge number. And then he sends it out with here's what you get, because it's not ethical. Doesn't make it right, it just is. So we're going to fix this all up. So we know from future or past YouTubes that if we got 200 CFM, we multiply it by 2, that's 400, plus 10%, 440. That's the maximum horsepower that those cylinder heads can make. Doesn't matter how many cubes. You can patch it up a little bit with some kind of weird numbers and some big intakes and huge camshafts like this one had, trying to band-aid a bad situation. That's pretty much it. So the 3D3 making 440 would be the best we could possibly do. We're losing 25% through the drivetrain at this level with a non-lockup converter that's in this thing. So we should be expecting 340, 350 at the wheels, which would be 160 more than what the guy came in with. Very significant. Going to pick up a whole bunch of torque, but I want to show you the combination next. All right, we're back in the high-tech motorsport dyno cell. If you got any questions about this, it is me that picks up the phone all the time, but I am on the phone a lot. I get 100 to 150 calls a day, and I appreciate every one of them, except for the guy looking for a motorcycle spark plug, which I have no idea, dude. Sorry. 763-712-9088. I'm here 6 days a week. Bart Wells, High-Tech Motorsport, out of beautiful downtown Elk River. God help us all. Anyway, so here you go. Here's the combination. Got long tube headers, that's good. It's got a really pretty polished intake, so that's intake. It's a dual plane. The divider is cut out in the center a little bit. It's got a clear distributor, which that's whatever works for you there, man. But carburetor, I believe this one is a 670. I'll run the numbers. It's going to be pretty well maxed out. It's got a bunch of shiny go fast parts here, everything else. We're going to get this thing going. I drove it across yesterday just to put it out here, broken the cam. It's a roller cam, so it doesn't take a whole lot to get this done. But we're going to make a couple pulls, see what we got. The customer's going to be here at about 10 o'clock, and it's 7:45 right now. And we'll make a few pulls with him here, and then we'll take it for a spin and see if he likes the difference. I left up, so we can compare, at least on the first run, the original run that I did with this car about 10 days ago. And that way we can compare the two, and then once we get the first real good run out of it now, we'll turn around and we'll just do the continuing runs as we change the air-fuel mixture and touch the timing up. I preset it at 16 degrees at idle, no vacuum advance, and it runs up to 36 degrees up at 3,500 where the advance stops. So we're going to take a look at that. You go up and down a little bit. The bigger the camshaft, as you remember, down low, the more time it's going to want to see or it's going to bog. I know it says that with a little white sticker. It says like 4-6 degrees before top dead center. That was with a stock camshaft and a 305. So let's not get too carried away with looking at this stuff all the time. Anyway, we're going to go through this. The air fuel will be up on the screen once I get it all tightened down. I got to strap it down. I'm going to sweat my ass off here today because it's like already 80 degrees and we don't have air conditioning in the dyno cell because you know it flows 40,000 CFM with the twin fans all the time. So trying to cool that down would be a disaster to my electric bill. Anyway, I'm going to tune out here. I'm going to strap everything down and then we'll take a run with it and we'll see what we did. All right, YouTubers, back, Bart at High-Tech Motorsport, Elk River, Minnesota. Got our small block Chevy all warmed up, ready to go on the chassis dyno. It's a 248 dyno jet. Showed you guys how to run that the last time, so we'll go over a little bit more fun stuff. This is our combination here. This is the one that had the bad flat camshaft in it. We're just starting the tuning now. It's got a vacuum secondary Holley carburetor. I've done a little bit of work on the idle just so it would come up okay. And we'll do our initial fire up and you can see what you think about the new sound. Everything seems to work okay. We've got our bass line is up. I'm going to fire this up and then we'll turn the fans on and go from there. You know it's going to get noisy. There you go. That's the new sound. the automatic with a small stall converter. So I'm going to flip the fans on. We're going to run this thing through its paces. We'll see what it did. I've got the original run stored. So when we print up the new run, it'll superimpose with the old run. All right, here we go. Widebands on, booster fans on. All right. Okay, as you remember, we turned the brake off. That's a big railroad brake right there. You can see right what's going on. Idle's right where it should be. Maybe a touch on the, it's too good to worry about. So, here we go, run it up. Okay, we got Jeff's car all tweaked out. Blue line's what he came in with. That was making 195 horse to the wheels. Now leaving with 298 horse to the wheels, an improvement of 103 horse. Also picked up 96 foot-pounds of torque. Red line you see is nice and straight. Now it goes across the top. We're all done at just a little over 5,500. That's the intake manifold and the cylinder heads. Anyway, we're about to take it for a spin. Introduce you to Jeff. Jeff's over here. There's Jeff. Jeff wants to at least look at his car now. He thinks it's going to run better. He still has to pay me, so if I don't come back, everybody just tell my wife to hit Jeff up for cash.
Just want to say on this video, hey, you did a really, really good job. It sounds good. The best part is he did it all for free. I couldn't ask for a better guy. Bart is the man.
That is not true, the free part. All right, we're going to take it for a spin, then we're going to come right back, get Jeff paid off, get him coming home. Should be great. Out in the wet today, it's going to be awesome to give this a try. So jump in, fire it up. Let's get your first impressions, and I'll jump in afterwards. You see what you think with the throttle response. Get the shifter figured out. Even he can't figure out his own shifter. Try neutral. That's what I always do. And there we go. Okay. He had it. Come on back. You can see here at High Tech Motorsport, we got a lot of room inside, but not a lot of room outside. I've paved almost everything. It's kind of a major league deal here. All right, I'm going to jump in with Jeff. We're going to give this party a get her started. This is awesome. I love this shifter. No, I don't. The shifter's craziness. All right, we're back in action. There we go. Fix something that looks like a D. And okay. No problem with spinning the tires anymore. I know it's wet. If you guys online, they're going to say, well, if I think it was wet. I get it. Yeah, take her, whoops, car. Take her right to the left, and let's just get on Highway 10, and you can give her the beans and see what goes on. Bump. I got to work on that. Yes, we have holes in the parking lot at High Tech Motorsport, so if anybody wants to pave, call me. The brakes work too, huh?
They do. They're holding, actually.
Isn't that nice?
That is really nice. Brakes are a nice thing to have now.
The old can shaft with a big thumper cam, the brakes didn't work. Brakes are overrated till you got to stop. We all know that. All right, so we're waiting for the other 4,000 people here on Highway 10. See, this is this weird old shifter thing that nobody understands that's still alive. Who made this? It's RD12. What do they call that?
Lightning rod shifters.
Lightning rod shifters. All right, this will work. Oh, catch those. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, about to be picking up parts. Try overdrive. There it is. And we have overdrive, which is good.
Yes, it feels nice.
Put some air in the tires. Like a lot of air in the tires. Alright, so far we didn't crash. It's been pretty good so far. Not that I was scared. I was petrified. Don't like it when I'm not driving.
I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, you probably would, yeah.
What I needed.
Yep.
This is perfect.
Yep, hear that? Just exactly what he needed. Now if we get back in one piece, go ahead and make the U-turn. We'll go back to high-tech.
Oh, this is a perfect drivability car.
Makes good power too, don't kid yourself.
Oh, it does.
Grips it and rips it. Wait till we get some dry pavement. Haven't tried the windshield wipers yet because we just got splashed everywhere, but okay. Hey, they work.
They do. We had a little bit of a thought of them. Got somebody coming there.
Yeah, I got a white car. And then we got open area.
Got it?
Yep, you're clean. Transmission's gonna last about a week. See how it gets with the program now?
Now it gets up and goes.
Yep, it rips.
Well, we're at the 85-mile-an-hour speed limit on the speedometer here.
Yep, I hope so. I'd guess probably 140 before the parts all come off. I mean, you know. Then we'll do some final adjustments if the thing doesn't work perfectly, which I think it's going to be right on its game. You take the left turn lane right there. And we've replaced one belt. Yeah, we're good to go. All fluids are checked. Doesn't need an oil change for another 3,000 miles. Oh, look at that, you got an open spot on the highway. Good for you. All right. Okay, we're all done here. We're gonna park over at High Tech and send you out with a nice dead stop type thing. There we go.
All right. Do it.
I know. All right, Bart High Tech Motorsport, Elk River, Minnesota. Solving America's car problems one at a time. If you've got questions, email me up, bart@hightechmotorsport, no S on the end.com, or give me a call, 763-712-9088. Leave a message. I do the best I can to get back, but that doesn't mean Corey's here all the time for those of you guys looking for Corey. Anyway, thank you once again for watching, and please let me know what you want to see next because I got lots of stuff for you. Thanks again.